news from more trusted reporters in more places to keep you more informed. Fox 59 News. This is Fox 59 Sports Overtime.
Hello and welcome to Sports Overtime here on Fox 59. I'm Chris Hagan. You know, all 17 games count the same, but the one out in Denver meant a lot for the Colts as far as their playoff hopes are concerned. Back from the bye and facing the AFC wildcard contending Broncos. 2-touchdown lead and wait. JT drops the ball inexplicably right before pay dirt take away the TD. 31-13, the frustrating final from Denver, and our Chris Widlick was there.
Hard to put into words what exactly happened here. The Colts offense came off to a great start, and with a chance to nearly put this one away in what would have been their biggest win of the season, star running back Jonathan Taylor dropped the ball, crossing the line into the end zone, and absolutely everything changed.
It just can't happen, no matter the game, no matter the scenario. You could be up by 50, down by 50, playoff game, first game of the season. That should never happen.
It was a mistake. Obviously, it hurt us, but, you know, he's one of our leaders. And sometimes that happens in football. But, you know, he's our guy, and that's where it's at.
It's an accident. You know, obviously we want no points right there. Obviously he wants to get in the end zone, but, you know, stuff like that happens. Next time we just got to finish through the end zone.
I apologize, and I just know that that'll never happen again. Like you said, you know, that never happened to me before, and, you know, it'll never happen again.
The Colts defense played lights out. 3 takeaways, Nix and company completely shut down. But their best performance of the year was wasted.
It was tough. You know, some of the big plays that happened that created, you know, short fields for us and big momentum plays for them. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the defense, you know, we told ourselves we got to go out there and we got to bow up and, you know, got to do what we can to get off the field and try to create another turnover. And I feel like the guys fought battle today.
We knew what was at stake today. It was high stakes. It was a big game for us, both teams. For a chance, but we still have games left, and we'll see how it shakes out.
This one hurt the most just because, I mean, outright blatantly beat ourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just did not play winning football today. And it's just, when you're playing meaningful football at this time of the year, the mistakes we made, you ain't going to win if you do those things.
Remarkable how a play or two could define a season, but a chance at a playoff run virtually ended on this field with a pair of boneheaded plays by the offense. With the Colts in Denver, I'm Chris Widlick.
The Colts' playoff hopes may have been dropped a few inches short of the goal line on Sunday in Denver.
You know, you go over those scenarios, but it just can't happen. No matter the game, no matter the scenario, you could be up by 50, down by 50, playoff game, first game of the season. That should never happen.
Jonathan Taylor's run could have put Indy up 2 scores in the...
I apologize, and I just know that that'll never happen again. Like you said, you know, that never happened to me before, and, you know, it'll never happen again.
Taylor's...
You know, despite what's going to happen, you know, throughout the rest of this year, you know, we still got things that we're trying to pursue.
The Pacers with the second of only 4 games at home in the month of December. Sunday's matchup against the Pelicans, a fill-in after an early exit from the NBA Cup tournament. A big margin in the second quarter propelled the Pacers to a 15-point win. It was a 28-14 advantage in that frame, the best defensive quarter of the season for Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton had 21 points and 10 assists. Pascal Siakam led the Indiana effort with 22 points, and Obi Toppin got 16 off the bench. The Pacers improved to 8-4 at home this season.
I feel like a lot of our possessions are ending, you know, with the ball moving, getting side to side. I think we're doing a really good job getting more high pick and roll. Just feel like the ball's popping, you know, so I think that's what that means offensively.
And for us to be, get back to what we're supposed to, we have to put stretches of games where we play consistently good basketball. And this is the road trip coming up. It's another challenge.
Next 4 games are on the road for the Pacers. They won't play in Indy again until the night after Christmas.
All right, thanks, Chris. Now let's bring in JMB from 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. John, the playoff chance is not completely gone, but not much hope left after this one. Was this loss pretty much a microcosm of the entire season for the 2024 Colts?
Chris, I would argue that it's a microcosm of the past years, because if there's one thing consistently this team has done on all 3 levels, from top to bottom, is to, you know, go down in flames in this fashion. To do it to themselves, Chris, when you go back in that second half and the start with Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball, and I've never understood what's so cool about that in my life. and I know I'm old, but I've never understood what's cool about that. But this team has consistently, more than anything else, Chris, over the years, found a way to do themselves in, and we saw it again today in Denver.
Yeah, I'm watching the game on television like all of us here in town. They go to break, they come back, and while we were gone, guess what? Let's take those points off the board and give the ball to the Broncos. I mean, I've never seen, I know they say, you know, games aren't won and lost on one play, but I'll put it...
6 or a defensive score beat them. Now, granted, this all started with 28, but again, you put that in a rookie wide receiver's hands at that moment, it may have been the most ridiculous play call we have seen during the Shane Steichen era, which, you know, a year ago, you go back, had some ridiculous ones there, too. They just find a way to do themselves in. I don't know at this point what it's going to take to get out of that rut, because they just cannot do it.
What does that say about his confidence in Richardson? They had the graphic comparing Bo Nix, the rookie, with the experience matched up against Richardson. And again, less than 50% completion of passes and 2 more big picks. I mean, where's the growth we've been looking for as you put him back into that starting lineup?
Yeah, it's awful. He was awful. And really, I understand the fans out there want this to work so bad that anytime he completes a pass, everybody goes crazy and points the finger at you and says, I told you so. But there is no growth. Really, I think he looks better in those scripted plays, Chris, most of the time at the start of the game. And then we saw him late in the fourth quarter beat the Jets and the Patriots, and both of those teams stink. Now, he's still on his resume, but if you're looking for growth right now, simply put, you're not finding it. You're going to need a passer, too, and he's not even close to being that passer at this level.
And you feel for the Colts defense, they get burned by an offensive touchdown taken off the board. You have the 2 long punt returns against the special teams, but here we are. We'll be talking about it next year. The Colts still not in the playoffs since 2020. John, you have a lot to talk about in the coming days, and yeah, let's face it, that offseason pretty much has already begun for this franchise.
And they've had a lot of mirrors to look into over the years. They'll do it again this year, Chris. Usual.
All right, John, we'll talk about it next week. No matter what, it's part of the show. We love seeing you. We listen to you tomorrow starting at 3 o'clock.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, let's hit a break. Coming up, even more from out there in Denver. Stay tuned. We're coming right back.